right? So instead of like, fading the conversation, we could just talk about how Jamie and his tooth stopped him from being here on the couch and how much you enjoy that.
Sort of like, I don't, it's not that I don't enjoy it. I really like seeing exactly what vintage shops he's been raiding over the last week to see what's going on. So it's kind of like, it's...
Well, yeah, well, I think Jamie will walk through that door with like, some kind of wrap over his mouth going, yeah, man, I had nowhere else to go.
I'm just a bit worried about his wisdom teeth getting removed.
If that's it, if that's gone,
if the name of that is
there's nothing back.
That's basically without his wisdom tooth. Yeah.
Well,
Bixby deprived of wisdom. Essential.
So, alright, welcome. So here we are trying to like BS, and I think Jamie helps us do it better because he's always a good foil to jump off of.
Yeah.
But once again, here we are. The second week, third week.
Third week, I think.
Third week in a row. I mean,
wow, we actually have a building.
It's got more syllable.
Yeah. I know, exactly.
There's nobody pacing. We're doing well. It's the fact that we've been in the same place for 3 weeks. It's kind of like showing
people show up on time and everything, and we can show out. But what we want to do is, first of all, we just want to give a major shout out to the man over here on the couch here, Ian Simon, who's actually gotten us onto iTunes, onto iCloud, and feeling like a professional show. Finally, the essential boys are actually working it.
And well played to Ian. I know what it's like dealing with Apple on a freaking basis.
Oh, do you know the joy of it is that we had to submit the artwork 8 times. I was talking to a mate of mine. It took us literally 3 days. If we'd have been charging for it, this would have cost about $3 grand with the knowledge that you could afford.
It's
difficult.
When I develop apps for Apple, every single time I would get it put in, they fail it on another reason. So like one person will let it go.
The thing is, you understand the reason why it's failed. I'm sitting there going, I don't even know what the questions mean.
No, exactly. But it's also the thing about what I like about it is that I was talking to someone before we got started, and who was trying to set up a podcast and all that, and she's telling me that she's about to pay somebody $800 to do it, and I was like.
But that's the problem. There's people like me out there that will charge £800.
Well, that's not a problem. You deserve it, and that's what I said. That's because somebody's actually getting paid. Anyway,
if anybody in the audience wants to make a podcast, give me £800. I'll set it up for you.
Yeah, exactly, and it'll cost you $15. So anyway, what's in our bags? Oh, really? You good?
There's so many.
You know what? I gotta love it. Jackson's only supposed to be like, like behind the camera.
And somebody's running the show.
Yeah.
All right, come on, Jason.
Anyway, what's in my bag? Okay, so what's in my bag? So I already had this conversation, so the energy is probably going to be down a little bit. But I talked about this last week, and what I had was last week I had the new Avengers, the Illuminati. I was talking about them. But then when I went to the store, it was like, it's like 28, 29 or somewhere over here. And doesn't matter. But then I picked up 40 automatically because I thought this was a continuation. And I was like, wait a minute. Oh, that's what it was. How could 28 go to 40? And it's
because they have slightly different logos.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Either way, that's true. But it's Secret Wars.
I wonder how long it took Chase to realise that it wasn't his arithmetic that was just absolutely atrocious.
I did go back and forth. I had to act at the camera.
You Avengers, Secret Avengers, multiple Avengers, Anti-Avengers, the Avengers Part 2.
The World, Avengers World.
Avengers, Secret Avengers.
Mighty Avengers. Yeah, so anyway, what's really awesome about this is because, even though now we're actually going to be out this week, this book came out last week, so I can talk about it. And what I liked was James's reaction. So I said, James, you gotta look at this, right? He's like, no, I'm not really into that. And he just turns to that page where he says, what the?
Yeah, I swear we weren't explicit. Go for it. It's just your son here. It's not.
We aren't explicit, but we're behaving ourselves. What was the moment? Is that the bit where he hits the planet?
No. His moment was when Namor gets it.
That's the thing.
Namor gets it.
But that's overused. It took 10 years for Jack Kirby and Stan Lee to get Black Bolt to say a single word. Now they do it once every 6 months for effect, and it's ruined Black Bolt. Apart from calling him Blackagar Boltigan. Look, it's called Black Bolt. Calling Blackagar Boltigan just makes it ridiculous.
Do you know
The
what?
one word is farewell, by the way.
Do you know what's really interesting with this whole thing is the way that the Marvel Universe film and TV is going. I've just watched the last episode before the season break of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
With Sky coming out with
Daisy Quake, you
Daisy
mean?
Quake. And now that, with Black Bolt coming in, and Black Bolt seems to be taking more of a central role within the universe, is this kind of like them, again, what I said in previous weeks, is this thing kind of like going, we'll just put X-Men to the side a bit, and we'll just let these other people that are like X-Men come into it, and they can take up those stories, and we can
Yes,
just,
because they're called miracles.
Wanda,
They're
yes,
called
no.
miracles.
He's not your dad.
He's not, no,
He's
no,
not your dad. No, the high evolutionary's your dad.
Yeah.
That means you're not mutants anymore. That means we own the rights to you, so you're sorted.
30 years of comic book history is just being completely eroded. And you're not even brother and sister, so that sexual tension that you've got going between you.
That's what I thought they were going to say. When I heard, no, they are. When I heard the news, right, that's what I thought they were going to say, that, you know what, you guys actually aren't brother and sister. But then I saw that reveal of Magneto and not being
It does sound like the Marvel Universe version of the Penthouse letters. So like, dear Penthouse, I always fancied my sister. Her random generating powers always
Always.
I always thought it was a taboo until I found out.
So anyway, my point was that this is amazing. I mean, it's a jaw-dropping moment. I haven't had a jaw-dropping moment in comics in a while, a really, really long while. And this was a jaw-dropping moment. But also what I wanted to say about this is that this has been a very slow burn. I mean, both of you guys have said you don't really, follow the New Avengers or the Illuminati. But I've been reading every last issue for the past 3 years. And this was the payoff for me. This episode, issue 28 and issue 40 of Avengers was the payoff. Not just because of the death that
There's
we
no
see.
death. There is no death. He's not dead.
To be fair, he is right. You don't actually see him on the
He's
ground,
dead.
and then, but it is Namor.
Get over
It's
yourself.
not like as soon as he's given up the rights, Namor will be back.
No, check this out.
Where's Hawkeye?
Hawkeye was trapped in a glass cage.
Yeah, but
like
I
everybody
saw
else.
Hawkeye die. I saw the Wasp blowing up. Bendis showed us that.
Yeah,
They've shown us nothing at all.
In
Namor
one
will
of
be back in the issue after next.
He'll
He's
be
not
replaced
dead.
by Skrulls.
yeah.
It's the MacGuffin.
Actually, I saw a picture of the upcoming Secret Wars, which we'll talk about, but I saw a picture where the Thing had a big hole in his back. I hear what you're saying, but he's dead and he was killed. So my point was that it was amazing. It was
Captain America's dead. Oh, Captain America's alive. He was replaced in time. Captain
It's not-
America's really, really old. How long's Captain America going to be really, really old
Don't
for?
get
I
me
give him
wrong.
3
I
months.
love that story arc. I love the whole fact that he is there. But come on, this is now the age where every 6 months they kill off another character. Wolverine, guaranteed he's going to be back in the next.
Is Wolverine dead at the moment?
Wolverine is dead.
Yeah. How long's he been
No,
dead?
they
He's
just
been dead
released
for about a year.
They've just released a new series now, Wolverines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost picked that up.
Yeah,
I almost picked that up.
Wolverines.
So there's like multiple possible Wolverines.
No, Anthony
I
Wolverine.
wonder whether-
No. Anthony Wolverine is the female Wolverine and
Is
the
that
real Wolverine.
X-23?
I don't think
Because
that's. She looked kind of black.
See, I don't know where X-23 was, but I would
X-23 is in the that whole Wolverine.
Because I like
X-Men.
No, she's in that whole arc of the Wolverine legacy thing, because Sabretooth ends up joining the Avengers. Did you know that? Dakin, who was supposed to be dead, is alive. But I don't bother reading that. So anyway, that was in my back.
There's a Marvel character who's supposed to be dead but is alive. But you're still under the impression that they've killed off a character they've had for 75 years. Here's this character they've had since 1936, and they've killed him off. Just to the point where you've got somebody who you can go, oh, all that crap about being a mutant. Oh no, he's not a mutant, he's just a submariner, he's got wings on his feet, he's not anti-mutant.
Exactly.
At that point, they bring him back. He's a major commodity. There's no way they kill him, and they don't show him die.
Right, let's go on.
They show him that. They show the whole world explode.
Let's get on to the next person.
Yes,
Let's get on to Jackson's bag.
All right, Jackson, what's in your bag? For me,
Oh, wait till you get on Secret Wars. It'll be like scanners.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Batman verse. Is this superpowered Robin?
Yes.
See, I love Damien. I think Damien is my favourite Robin. I
He's
know
my favorite. He's my favorite. That's why I picked it up.
I like the whole fact that he's like Bruce Wayne if he was just spoiled rotten. And it's sort of like it's Bruce's attempt to just really give up him.
Yeah.
And it's I'm really eager to see what his powers are. I haven't read what his powers are going to be. But
Well, I mean, on the cover, he's like got a bulletproof. I mean, bullets are bouncing off his chest. But I mean, obviously, what he's doing is he's on a quest, and he's going through the different members of the Justice League. So he ends up visiting Batman and Aquaman in this issue, and he's going after Superman next. So I haven't fully read it. What are you looking at?
How is he not dead at the
He
moment?
can fly.
Was dead, but now he is.
He can fly, he says, yeah.
How
No, he's not gone. He went to the
how
Lazarus
did he
pit.
get his power? He went to the Lazarus pit and then he came out with powers.
Well, actually, no. See, what it is, to be honest with you, right, is that Robin Rises, I didn't bother wanting to read because I'm not interested. I said to myself, I'm not going to buy into this mess anymore, buying books just for the event. So I said, I'm going to wait till it's over. And what happened was, is Robin Rises, went through all the Batman books, I saved a lot of money, and then I just started out on the stand, right? And then it just said, boom, there you go. That's what I want to see. You know, Robin back. That's all I care. I don't care how he came back, you know, but it is interesting, like we just said, he can fly, bullets are bouncing off him, he hanging out.
Well, you said Green Arrow went to the Lazarus pit, so Green Arrow get powers.
Green Arrow didn't go to the Lazarus pit.
He's talking about Arrow.
Oh, on Arrow.
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
the TV universe is going to be able. I'm wondering how they got this to.
Oh, see,
They have
got major points about reconciling the universes between TV, film.
I think someone wants us to get onto the topic, so shall we quickly get on?
Yeah,
to
yeah,
that?
all right, wait, go to your bag, go to your bag.
What have I got in my bag? I have got, and I will get onto this when it becomes a Secret Wars starting off. Obviously, I've got the same three Spider-Verses as all of us have got. I've got The End is Forever 1, Fantastic Four 642, as the Avengers starts to finish. This is the end of the Marvel Universe coming up here.
Yep.
And the fact is that
Because
Mr. Fantastic has been
Four,
abducted by the wizard, he's being tortured, Bentley turns good, and you get to the
he
end.
turns good. He was turning
Oh,
bad.
he's saying good again now. What? Character's consistent, why would you do that? And then, as you come to the end, as the big reveal, they all fly out, they're all safe, and they all fly out to Rick Sheridan, who's living out in suburbia, and they tell him that they need him back in active service. Jim Hammond tells me he needs him back in active service, and he says, I understand, but be honest by it, okay? You don't need me. You need the entity inside me. You need, and the big reveal, some bloke I've never heard of him. Sleepwalker.
Oh yeah, Sleepwalker, of course.
And
I remember Sleepwalker. He was around in the '80s and stuff. He's like a dream walker.
this is your big reveal.
Yeah, Rick Sheridan.
This is the beginning of Secret
No,
Wars.
because that's a major character from the '80s.
It's kind
In
of
what
like.
way is this a major
It's
character?
like a
Sleepwalker is a
it's like
major
a
character for
Scooby-Doo
those who read
episode
comics.
Yeah.
Where they take the mask off him.
Oh
and it's like-
Christ, it is the guy who opened the fair.
Wait, oh.
This is a bloke who hasn't been in the episode
We
so
don't even
far.
know who this guy is. He's just a bit out of way. He's just a crazy random person.
Who's going to change the Marvel Universe? Some random.
No,
Obviously.
Sleepwalker will. There you go.
No idea. Not a
But
clue.
also, you should also note that because the Fantastic Four is coming to an end, that this is pretty much what you told me. This was Secret Wars 0, isn't it?
That this is
So this is
supposedly
the jump
the
on
very,
point.
very kick-on point of Super.
And the
Secret
kickoff
Wars.
point is Sleepwalker is back.
Sleepwalker. Yeah.
You might-
I don't know how to top that.
You might as well have gone.
At least it's not Danny Chase.
I understand, but be honest about it, okay? You don't need me. To reboot the Marvel Universe, you need the entity inside me. Rob Liefeld! Oh, Jesus Christ, seriously.
So I'm not going to mention most of my books that I got to see.
We all seem to have the
Spider-Verse
Spider-Verse
is
in our bag.
I did get the.
But since neither of
I
us
got-
talked about it, you can't talk about
I
it.
got the Scarlet Spider. I got the Scarlet Spiders, and I've got the.
I got the Spider Team. I got the Spider Team. Oh yeah.
And can I just say, Greg Land is consistently the best penciler in comics at the moment.
I enjoy what he's doing.
Beautiful artwork.
And there's some really good artwork. So the way he's got Stuck to Webs coming out in that issue is absolutely fantastic. But I just finished reading The Amazing Spider-Man from the Spider-Verse, and that with the description.
Is that what Ben? Is that what Uncle Ben? So
With
you?
Uncle Ben, yeah.
What issue is that?
Cowardly Uncle Ben.
Cowardly Uncle Ben.
Is that what he is, a coward?
Yeah, he's
Cowardly Uncle Ben with a terrible costume.
And it takes.
What, he had a costume?
It takes.
Got a costume.
Yeah, it takes.
Why?
He looks.
He's a totem.
It's like that. It's like that.
It's like a gas mask.
No, what was it? I can remember reading the spot. What was it? The game where it kind of like had an outfit like that. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
It's a really good issue.
Again, I'm just a little bit annoyed because in the team up you have a big fight between. I just fed up with these comic books which are supposed to interweave with the entire kind of like universe, and they don't really. You know, it's just annoying. Then I've got Hawkeye versus Deadpool #4, just because I'm a Deadpool fan, and it's got Deadpool dressing up as Hawkeye. How can you knock that? I love it.
She will draw a list of ways I can knock that.
Probably.
We haven't got enough time.
No.
And the final thing that I am going to, I didn't give a proper review last week of the Harlequin Scratch and Sniff book.
The Weed Annual.
The Weed Annual. I've got to say, I have never sat reading a comic book with my wife kind of like hovering over me. She loved the whole Scratch and Sniff kind of like thing.
Right.
A bit weirded out when you actually scratch and sniff and it smelled like pepperoni pizza. Very weird, but
so it's not just one scratch and sniff.
no,
That's probably the oregano that they put on to the.
Yeah, it's pepperoni. But what I was saying last week about Harlequin, the way that they're trying to do it, is sort of like making her that Deadpool-esque character. I couldn't have been more spot on about that annual. It goes
Fourth wall completely gone.
not necessarily completely gone, but it is a Deadpool story. You know, she ends up tripping on a THC-based thing that Poison Ivy creates, and then it goes into some strange trippy thing which just a cat and
Why does
stuff.
Poison Ivy have to turn to crime? She could have cornered the weed market for Gotham years ago.
Because it's not legal in Gotham yet, it's so like, you know, it's...
Yeah, she doesn't have to be legal. She's
she's still a criminal then,
Yeah,
isn't she?
she's her own hydroponic walking garden.
I tell you, there was that brilliant, what was it?
Yes, you should know about that song.
There was a comic where Batman walks in and she releases THC into the atmosphere, and sort of like Batman goes in and he kind of like picks up. Oh, it was a Kevin Smith book. Obviously.
Obviously.
He just walks in, she listens to the
Chronic,
THC, so like. But yeah, I mean, really enjoyable. I do really like Harlequin. I love what they're doing with it. I am really looking forward to seeing how far it goes, and it's actually going to make me pick up some more issues of Harlequin now because I really do like it. So I love it.
Well, amazing. I mean, what's also more amazing is that we actually got through that what's in our bags really quickly and stuff like that.
It took us 20 minutes.
took us 20 minutes.
We only mentioned the topic.
It is an hour show. It is an hour show. Trust me, we don't go way over. I'm just saying. You know. So either way, now we're at the topic about leaderboards.
Before we start the
like
topic,
yeah.
I have every intention of reading all those Avengers issues because I've got Marvel Unlimited, so I can read everything up to 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I read one issue the other night that actually seemed quite decent. With it all gone 48 million years into the future.
Yeah. That's
But they
the
basically
best
stood around
world.
whinging.
What?
They basically stood around whinging.
Well, I mean,
Hickman books, people stand around and whinge.
You travel
Well, no,
48
because
million years in the
because
future. See if you have anything.
No, but also it's just
This
that
one here.
Hickman's a novelist. I mean, and if you really look at that, I would recommend rereading it all. I mean, like in a binge like that, because that's how I think he wrote it. I think he wrote it as a novel, and it's just actually phenomenal. And I would love to know what you think
that's
about
the
it.
problem? He doesn't do comic pacing.
No, it's not.
Because my personal feeling, throw this out since I will, I think Hickman's a hack. I think he's Grant Morrison without the invention. I think he's another writer who goes, here's an idea, 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 here's an idea. Yeah, where's your story? Sad stories. Here's an idea, here's an idea, here's an idea.
No, but see, the thing about it though, I don't think that's being a hack. I think that is being more of a writer.
It's
You
not
know, like
Brad
Brad Milster. You know, the guy who did Identity Crisis.
Yeah, but he did that story. He told a story. He told a compelling story in the first issue that brought you back to the second and the third and the fourth.
Yeah.
Hickman has never told
But Hickman's never wrote a book. He's never wrote a comic. I haven't really noticed.
Hickman's
You
been
tell
doing
me-
comics. He's been doing comics for a decade now. He
But
should
what
have
comics
been
are we talking about Fantastic Four? Because I think he was writing Fantastic Four, which is a science book.
The Fantastic Four he wrote is a science book, and that's why it was so boring to read, which is why
Which
Avengers
is
are
what
so
I'm trying to say.
boring.
He's
Yeah,
not a
that's what
comic. I agree with you.
But he should, if you're going to write comics, write them as comics.
That's not what he does.
But
And that's
Nelson's
not why-
novelists who wrote comics as comics and made them compelling.
Well,
comics.
But
once-
also it was
I-
compelling because it was adult oriented as well. If you
It was,
actually
but-
if you think about Identity Crisis, that wasn't for kids. He
No.
wasn't writing for kids. He was writing his favorite characters
Who's
in an
Hickman
adult story.
writing for?
For geeks, scientists,
Yeah.
people who would
He's not
understand
writing
all
for
that
kids.
techno babble.
So he's still not making a compelling story. He's not making a compelling story that you can read month by month. In the same way that you could go into Spider-Man throughout issue 1 to issue 100 and read it month by month by month and want to come back the next month. He's not done anything in any book he's written that's made me want to come back the next month. Ever.
I see where you're both coming from, to be honest, because what you're saying, he's not got the comic pacing, and what you're saying, he's a novel writer and everything.
But it's interesting if you were interested.
Let me finish that point.
Right,
Right, okay, I'm just
Right.
finding the middle ground. You know, you've got writers, you go to the Alan Moore, you go to the Frank Millers, you've got Robert Kirkman, who write almost novella stories into comic books. So the fact that they're a novel writer does not mean the way that they write as a novel writer doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be bad comics. Walking Dead is a prime example of how that is. It's a trudge to get through. You know, you've got to stick with it. You've got to keep going for the payoff, and it works because it's well paced and well done.
Now the thing is, I've never tried to read Walking Dead as a comic. I've only ever read the trade paperback.
No, but I can imagine the way the TV series runs. I can imagine everything you're saying about it, though.
The trade paperbacks work. I'd imagine if you're reading on a monthly basis, it's
It
boring.
would drive you insane, but I do it the same way as you. I get the hardback books and I read them, and it pays off so much more because it is that all number. And the problem that I see you saying about Hickman is maybe it is a case where you have to save up all this kind of stuff to read in a full order. So I've not read any of Hickman's run on the Avengers or anything previously, so I might have. I'm not very good at picking up writers or anything like that, but. You know, maybe it is that kind of case. So, you know, I can see it from both your perspectives. I can understand sort of like where you're coming from. You know, sometimes maybe you do have to read it all as one.
So you can take someone like that. There is only one comic writer, to my knowledge, that has become a successful novelist from comics, and that's Neil Gaiman. And Neil Gaiman on Sandman was writing a novel.
Yeah.
But he wrote it in such a way that every single chapter made sense in the way of Dickens' way. Dickens would write every single chapter so it made sense in and of itself to the guy who buying the penny paper at the port that day. Whereas Hickman would write to go, well, do you know what? You may not understand this bit here, but you'll like this bit over here because that bit there will pay off there. And if you pay attention and you're as clever as I am, it's like, I don't want people to tell me how
But
you know what's the podcast there, Ian did just stand up and run across the room.
He just did a little dance. He did a little dance. But like, this is the topic actually, because you didn't have one anyway, so it's a good one. But like, these comic writers, because like, you know, if you look at Alan Moore, which you mentioned, you know, Watchmen wouldn't really be as interesting without Dave Gibbons' artwork.
No.
So
it sets up as a comment on comics.
but let me see what I'm trying to say is the fact that you're talking about Hickman being a novelist and being boring or uninteresting. I actually find it interesting, but it's also the artwork that has to bring you to it. So like you got Brian Azzarello with 100 Bullets. I had to read that as trade paperbacks. Even Frank Miller's Sin City, I read it as trade paperbacks. But I wouldn't have got through it if I wouldn't have bought it. It wouldn't have been
I bought the first issue of 100 Bullets and never went back because I was so bored by this very empty experience.
But if you would have bought the trade paperback, which I did,
Brian K. Great, it was a great book. And Why the Last Man is another example.
That's what I was going to say. Brian K. Vaughan. You know, I mean, so these guys who hadn't even moved on to television, you could even take it to Denny O'Neil with Batman. His whole thing was writing detective stories. And without the artist.
But they made sense in 25 pages.
Yeah, but
they did.
What I'm trying to say is you can't hold it as a criterion. You can't, because the writers are writing for the kids who've grown up. So they're writing for adults who are still reading picture books on the train, but they are reading stories that make sense to them. And Hickman did that when he started. I think when I saw Hickman's name first was in Fantastic Four, where it was just a little too much, but it was great for Fantastic Four. You can't have one of the smartest men in the world saying dumb stuff. You know what I mean? You know, so Hickman had that language, and then they brought him into the Avengers, and they're like, you know what, do something with them. And he blew up the whole Avengers world, which is where we're going to go into the next topic about Secret Wars. So I just think, you know, it's a good topic. You know,
that's why
we're talking about writers who,
Secret Wars.
yeah.
Hickman is crucial to Secret Wars because everything you've done in the best part of a decade, it's hinged on Hickman.
And Avengers.
Pitching Secret Wars then on day one.
Yeah.
This is Hickman's initial pitch was Secret Wars, apparently.
Yeah. And what he represented, last thing I'll say, what he represented is what Grant Morrison is doing with Multiversity.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
But it's sort of like, you know, it's like they always give it's like Dan Slott. Dan Slott, so like when they gave him Spider-Man, he's got his little charts of, I want to make, so, you know, it's
I want
all
to
this
bring
stuff.
people back.
But my final thing on just shows, from what it sounds like, it's like you're kind of like arguing, you've got Breaking Bad and Lost. Breaking Bad all the way through was quite, I don't know if you
Love Breaking Bad.
yeah, do you
Of
see
both your examples.
but you'll see what I'm saying. Breaking Bad all the way through. They had the beginning, they had the sense, and they had the end. And the story goes all the way through. With Lost, it was just kind of like it was a good, but it was just kind of like, we don't really know what we're going to do.
Polar bears.
No. It was. Here's a chest full of money, and figure it out.
And I think that's Hickman is the Lost, whereas. So like
He sees the three of Lost.
yeah,
What the
Frank
hell are we going
Miller's
to do
and
here?
Aaron Moore are more the Breaking Bad, and that's kind of
Yes,
like
I would have that, yeah. Although, if you say the Hickman launched, Hickman pitched Secret Wars to them the first day he walked in with ideas. They said, well, maybe there's a gap between the two where he's like, this is what I want to be at the end. How are you going to get there? Don't know. It might take a few other people. And they said, did you see the launch on from Midtown Comics? They had Axel Alonso and Tom Brevoort launching live. And they basically said that every event that they've done over the last few years, they've had to have Secret Wars in mind for the end of it. So however this event, however the Creed, Secret Invasion, however that affected it, however the heroic age affected the Marvel Universe, and however
the
this
fall of
affected the universe.
Asgard, the sort of like
They had to have,
scrolls.
however this affects the Marvel Universe has to pay off in Secret Wars. Great, because none of them affected the Marvel Universe in any way, shape or form for more than a month.
Which goes on to the thing. I'm going to say my worry about the whole Secret Wars kind of like thing, and I understand the need to relaunch.
I have two worries, and one maybe yours.
Well, it's not. I understand the need to relaunch every couple of years and stuff like that, and take it down. But I'll be honest. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favourite comic book character. If I have to read in another comic book his origin and the first time he fights Electro and the first time he fights the Rhino.
By learning to crawl.
I don't want to have to go through everybody's origins once more. And it's sort of like, just look at the history that Marvel, DC have done it okay. You could say they've done it successfully in some times and unsuccessfully in some times. But Heroes Reborn, do you remember? So that was another universe. That was them kind of like going.
No, I know, but it was vomit on the floor.
They've done well with Ultimate, but they didn't have that replacement. They kind of like were trying to do to hit the after what was his name? Xavier and
Onslaught.
Yeah.
After the Onslaught thing, you could see they were trying to relaunch a universe, kind of like bring back Tony Stark, make it all manga, stuff like that. Just didn't work that well, and I'm just a bit concerned that they kind of like we're talking about it now. We're going to spend 10 minutes talking about this whole thing, which in 2 years' time could just kind of like go, it was just a dream of Peter Parker's.
Yeah, I have several concerns on this, and one comes from the launch video, where they basically show you Battle World. In 3 months' time, the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe are going to rub together like two pizzas, and some of the toppings will fall off, and you'll shout about the toppings have fallen off, and some of the toppings will go on to the other one, you'll be glad about the toppings. This is Alonso's actual thing, and I have full respect for Axel Alonso. He's done a great job at Marvel, and he was fantastic for Vertigo.
Yeah.
But you've got this thing, okay, we're going to change it, so you're going to finish the Ultimate Universe again. That's the 5th time so far. 5th time in 10 years we killed off this universe. So this time, but this time we're killing. So now there won't be a Marvel universe and an Ultimate universe. There'll just be this universe. And what you're going to have is you won't have the universe. You won't have the universe. You'll have Battle World, and Battle World will be a zooming graphic going in of the Ultron universe fights the zombies and years of future past and Spider-Man renew your vows where he's married and he's still got the child. So he's married to Mary Jane. He's a family man. And you've got
Did they say all
no
this?
more
Or?
mutants. Yes, it's all on the video. And you zap, 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 zap. And each part of the world is going to be a segment. And you've got this bit up here. Iceland is basically planet Hulk. And this bit down here is the zombie bit. And this bit down here is
Marvel zombies.
Yeah, some Marvel zombies there. And this bit is the Age of Onslaught. And this bit is the No More Mutants bit.
But it's all on one
But
planet.
this is all on one planet, and all these books are going to be published in there, and they will tell you how the Marvel universe is going forward. Right, okay. So, your problems that I see here are, I hesitate to call the Marvel universe realistic, because obviously you've got Spider-Verse going on, you've got the whole Avengers thing going on, it's too big. But what always made Marvel was that you had this sense that it was rooted in a real universe. Because I've never been to New York, and growing up I was scared to go to New York in case it wasn't as fantastic as I thought it would be. Because I was always thought, I'll be disappointed because I'll go there and Spider-Man won't be swinging overhead. And there'll be nobody flying past me, there'll be rubbish because...
Well, there won't be people flying across, it's just suicide attempts.
Yeah.
Okay,
Birdman.
just go to the UK. Birdman. Let's go Birdman. But it was always rooted in a reality, and the characters had a realism to them, and it's getting further and further away. But then if you take Battle World and say, okay, well, it's all this now, so you've got the Age of M, and you've got the Age of Onslaught, and you've got the Age of this and the Age of that, and you've got the zombies, and they're all on this big planet, they're all having this big fight, there's going to be like Secret Wars, which was crap. That might have been a bit loud, that might have spiked the audio.
Yeah,
Secret Wars was terrible.
It
It was a terrible comic in the first place. So for the 30th anniversary of Secret Wars, they're not even coming out and saying we're doing this because it's the 30th anniversary of Secret Wars. It just happens to be the 30th anniversary of Secret Wars. So, they're going to have this one world with all these things going on, and this is the new Marvel universe. It's going to come from that.
No.
It is, it's coming from that.
Yeah,
But
come from that. It won't stay there, though.
It won't stay there.
That will be the...
So it's how they build from there.
Yeah. So Secret Wars. I mean, you know a little bit more than I do on that. As far as the Battle
I did
World
my
is concerned.
homework for change.
Good man, good man. But I mean, pretty much what I heard was, because I was watching the video, it is pretty much Marvel and DC is always a competition with one another. So last week we talked about the DC convergence, and we talked about Grant Morrison's Multiversity and how what they're actually going to do is create the infinite worlds again. And
See,
that's how...
What I want from that is, I want comic companies to have honesty in their titles. Instead of calling it convergence, they should call it the New 52 didn't work, so we're having to do this to sort it out.
I would love to see that. Just
the New 52 was rubbish.
Instead of a splash screen cover, it's just words going. The New 52 wasn't that good as the previous one, so we're bringing back the parallel universes concept because Grant Morrison is on a wage bill.
Scrolling up.
Kind of like the Star Wars.
Grant's been writing this for 5 years. We've got to do something with it.
Forget about the rest of the artwork. We could just have pages of just big characters just going across. And at the end, so like, sorry for you wasting $3.99.
My name's Superman. I used to have a blue costume with trunks on the outside. Then it got kind of armoured. Nobody liked it. I had a mullet. Nobody liked it.
I wore jeans.
Nobody liked it.
I liked the whole I thought the whole Superman.
Action Comics was interesting when it started, but then
Yes,
if you look at Action Comics now, they got rid of that whole 5 years before scenario, so he's no longer running around in the jeans and a towel. No, he's not wearing that anymore in Action Comics.
I like his armored. I like that armored suit. I think it's the old costume. Yeah, it was fantastic, but it's part of me. It's sort of like being all it endeavours crystal.
It was fantastic in a realistic sense.
You know, cod piece kind of like.
But things are iconic for a reason.
Yeah,
it's like getting to the year 12 and a load of Swedish blokes sitting there going, do you know what? Loki's not working for me anymore, lads. How about if we relaunch him as a hero? Maybe we make him work. Yeah, we make him work for the Norwegians for a bit instead of the Swedes, and we'll move him round. Let's make him blonde. And I don't like Thor. Let's make Thor into a woman. No, we write comic for a reason.
Where is that comic?
I mean, no offense to possibly anyone who goes to it, but from my understanding of it, that interpretation is almost every religion going through it. It's
reinvented.
Not necessarily reinvented, but it's sort of like it is that kind of thing. So, but Superman is iconic because it's not because of his costume. It's because there is this alien who comes from outer space, who comes to our planet, who is raised on values that put him sort of like not just powers or the majesty of Superman. It is him being a good-natured, a good person, and that's part of my problem with Man of Steel. Although I enjoyed the film, and that's what makes Superman iconic. It's not the outfit; it is the man. And that's the same thing.
So
anyway, as I was saying, right?
An
hour ago, really am I quiet on the couch? But as we seen an hour ago, Secret Wars. I mean, like I said, it's Marvel's competition versus DC. Since they realized that, look, DC 52 didn't work. We all know this. It's all crap. Dan DiDio just spent every year rebooting every dumb idea that was put in front of him and stuff like that for the past 10 years now. And so the Convergence, I think, is a fantastic idea. It's about going back, and so 30 years anniversary of Secret Wars you're talking about, Marvel's saying, hey, look, realistically, let's do the same thing. So, I mean, their universe is too dark. It's too dark, it's too gritty, it's too, I can't see inside the panel,
The thing is, I like the whole, with the Marvel thing, again, we compared it, but the way that Marvel did the multiverse kind of like thing is, it was very clearly, we have the zombie universe, which is, it's just fun. We're going to do a limited series of Marvel zombies, and it's just going to be zombies killing
kids. It doesn't have to affect anything else, let's make this daft.
Does anybody else even remember fucking Marvel, sorry, pardon
That's
me.
Explicit one.
The Marvel zombies did a limited series where they were going into other dimensions and killing the heroes in it. If they're going to put the Marvel zombies, because they all ate from the Silver Surfer and all gained galactic powers, they ate Galactus. And you're telling me that they're going to put them on a world where every other hero is going to do it, and they're not going to be able to kill it. It's just, that's going to be the new Marvel series. Everything, it's just going to be Marvel zombies. It fits in with the trend. Nothing else. It's just Marvel zombies going.
No, but
sit around going.
Yeah. I mean, but like the thing about
Thor stuck to you and more like,
maybe
a little wisdom tooth taken out.
I think what it is, it will be a factor of this battle world sounds a little bit interesting about putting all of their concepts into one place, but in the end, it would all converge into one universe. Not in a battle world, so to speak, because that was one of the bad things. I mean, I don't think a bad thing of Secret Wars in the 80s was like the thing being left on Battle World, because you didn't want to change back to the thing.
Going on to just like one final point then that I think we should cover is, so like if it is right on what you're saying, it's going to kind of like cherry pick the favourite elements.
You're not getting us to the final point, I've got loads more.
I know, but I mean, with time perspective, we want to get through to that. But I'm just thinking, if they kind of like take all the elements from all the different universes, what do you want to see from in the final thing? What characters do you want to see from what universe do you want to actually see?
I actually want them to go. I actually want them to do what I think and hope and pray that DC is doing, and go back to basics. I want to actually see the comics characters that I loved growing up. I don't want to see Thor in an armor and all of that other kind of stuff. I want to see them yellow striped boots. I'm being facetious about it, but I want to go back to basics. I don't want to see Marvel zombies or Spider zombies showing up, walking down the street. Like what they're doing with Uncanny Avengers, for example. The new team I saw was freaking Sabretooth with the Vision, who looked like the Vision from the movies. And what I was trying to say about what I saw on the thing today about Secret Wars is their idea is to combine the movie universe with the comic book universe. Their idea is, look, the movie universe is so popular that what we want to do is so Coulson's going to be in the new Marvel universe, probably Daisy Quake or Sky Daisy Quake will be there. So as far as who you want to see, it's going to be about like picking and choosing, like, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man to show up in Iron Man. Will it be Don Cheadle's War Machine? or
Well,
Anthony
Don
Mackie's
Cheadle's I
Falcon.
the Patriot.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, I mean, like, what I'm trying to say is that that's what they're going to do. But I mean,
If
I'd
they
rather
do
them
that,
go back to basics.
that makes perfect sense.
But
because-
that's what that's
because-
the plan. That's what the video I saw today.
Well,
is that
I'm not
that's
sure.
what their
I'm not.
plan is.
See, that's not what I got from the launch because
Well,
my
your
concern-
the launch you saw was when?
Well, I watched it last week and again this morning.
Right.
It was the day that it was the announcements when all announcements and it was
Yeah.
Super Bowl to the comic shop.
Because this I saw this video this morning, but go ahead.
But the thing that see, if they could, I want to see characters with a sense of wonder. Not all this darkness, not all this
No, I don't want the
and all this treachery behind it.
Dark
I want
Ages
to
is
see Doctor Strange being this fantastic. I don't want to see Doctor Strange going, I have no more to do with you people. I want Doctor Strange that's out there in Steve Ditko-esque universes,
With the
destroying demons.
with the big eye helmet on his head.
tripping it, yeah.
My name was Mighty Eye of Vagabond.
And I want to see Spider-Man say how fantastic it is to be Spider-Man. If you've got all these universes smashing together, all I want as an end result of it, in terms of characters, is Miles Morales.
Yeah,
Take
yeah.
Miles Morales. I
Miles
don't care
Morales
less
and
about
Mayday
anyone else.
Parker I believe they will
See,
be there.
Well,
Probably along with your Spider-Gwen and all that.
Spider-Man,
They will be in
the.
these characters definitely, because out of everything, Spider-Verse has been hugely
Spider-Verse,
successful.
because
There's
it's
no
so
way they will
sensible.
lose Spider-Verse.
But thinking about it, I find it really amusing that Steve Rogers is really decrepit now.
Oh, he'll get young.
Well, will he? Or will they just be taking the Ultimate Universe cap? I mean, is that the kind of thing that they kind of like go
Oh,
on to do?
the Ultimate Universe Cap die? Wasn't he
No, the Ultimate
Cap
Universe cap I think has died in the Galactic
Ah,
Hunger.
did it?
But what I'm trying to say
There'll
is
be a
that
cap somewhere
Yeah,
else.
yeah. So is that?
you know, like I said in that issue, I mean, old Cap is awesome. He's not walking around with a cane. He's not Xavier in a wheelchair. I mean, he's awesome. But I do think he's gonna be rejuvenated. There's no way.
You've got
they
to,
can be
my
running that.
concern about the whole thing was they're going to basically do this through the summer.
Yeah.
What comes out in the summer, film-wise?
Well, you've got.
Well, no, that's what they said. That's what they said on the video. Is that they're going to combine. They're going to bring in those characters. Like this is why they did that whole thing about Magneto. That's why I saw that this morning. Is because the miracle factor, you know, is going to be prevalent as well. You know, where Magneto is not the father of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and those characters are going to be the ones that you're going to actually see, which will be, you know, I mean, it's just. Secret Wars was just really, in the old days, as I was trying to say, it was really about this Beyonder character with the long mullet, who was really just trying to, like, change. Yeah, it was just trying to change the world, but what they were trying to do was they were really trying to introduce what was called the new universe. You know, they were trying to bring in new characters with it.
No, but the new universe was a separate thing a couple of years later, wasn't it? It was Jim
Yeah, but the Beyonder.
But it wasn't linked at all. The new universe wasn't linked to Secret Wars at all. It came later. And it was about the Star brand and.
Yeah, but I meant like, okay. What I meant was, thanks.
Point still.
For a guy who hasn't even like read it, but like no, what I meant was the outside element of the Beyonder coming from this other place. It was about bringing in these new characters. What the Beyonder was doing was, I'm curious. It's like God coming into Earth and taking all these characters, put them into this planet, and saying, okay, you know, let's mix and match. Spider-Man got the black suit. Thing lost his ability to turn to rock. You know, all these characters got mixed and matched, and then they came back to Earth.
But nothing happened. Nothing happened long term.
The only thing that happened was the thing stayed in
Spider-Man
Battle World.
affected Spider-Man
Yeah.
quite substantially.
Spider-Man
All
got
I'm
the
saying
black
is,
suit.
what can we do with
The
this?
black suit is still effective.
I
But
mean, you've got characters like
It
that.
wasn't a story that needed to be told. It was a story that was told as a commercial proposition because they had to sell a new toy line. Because I think it was Kenner wanted new toys. And the new Secret Wars at least is coming from a narrative rather than a toy line. It will
Well, yeah. It's not an event.
That was
It's not an event
provoked
book.
by the toy line.
I reckon that if the Secret Wars, there's got. I mean, I'm going to buy it because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I'll buy it from
and all that stuff. But I'm willing to put money on at least around. How many issues are there going to be?
I think it's 8.
Around issue 6, 7. The last page on that is going to be a young Steve Rogers going Avengers Assemble, and pretty much everyone behind him. That is going to be a given. There's no doubt about that. Also, reckon at the end of Spider-Verse, that Weaver is going to sort of like go to Peter Parker as he's going away, going, do you think this is the end of your multiverse? And that's going to lead to sequel. I'm willing to put money on that kind of like inkling about it. And there's also going to be Peter Parker kind of like getting screwed again because they love messing around with Peter.
Well, yeah, but I mean, but that's the only thing. Like when Ian said about the whole wedding vows and having the child, I mean, that was one of the worst things that they've ever done was like kidnapping Mayday and then her never even showing up.
Never even mentioning her again.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, you know, the kids are going to be a part of, Peter Parker's life. And
In one part of Battle World, but that may not be the Peter Parker that comes out at the end.
Oh, I think it will
because
Spider-Girl was so popular and it was like a big abandoned hole when she didn't return.
I tell you what,
I'm curious about the Spider-Girl reunion thing that's coming around.
I read it. I read the Spider-Girl reunion.
I would love to see in the Secret Wars.
She used her spider powers to magnetise the floor to stick spiders that were attacking them to the floor.
Yeah, but no,
because spiders are made of metal.
Isn't there another character?
Yeah, it's Uncle Ben.
That's Uncle Ben?
Yeah, Uncle Ben was with her.
Oh, that's stupid.
One thing I would pay really good amount of money for a comic book though, to sort of like, you know, they should do a Secret Wars of kind of like a what if kind of like thing. What if it was all J. Jonah Jameson's? So it was like Battle World, but with J. Jonah Jameson's just from all different universes, all going Metal Age. Pick really stupid Squirrel Girl.
No, when you just said that, they spent the whole last year killing the Watcher in Original Sin.
Yeah.
And now, when you just said making a what if, my God, don't tell me that's what they're going to do at the end of Secret Wars. Bring the Watcher back.
I would
hold on. So they killed the Watcher last year, obviously.
Yeah, in Original Sin.
And the impact of the Watcher dying has been
nothing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But the Watcher was the only one who knew that there was only multiverse and everything like that.
Apart from every character who'd been through some multiverse at different times.
No.
And apart from
like
the
Soldier Supreme and all the other Watchers.
Yeah, but the Battle World scenario you just talked about is about all these pretty much different versions of people.
Spider-Man's met Miles Morales. Spider-Man's just met 48 million Spider-Man.
Yeah.
He is quite probably aware that there are
Spider-Man has literally turned into Marvel's Flash, basically.
Yeah.
So like, then you know, I'd love to see kind of like just pick the most obscure characters just to see what like 1,000 J. Jonah Jameson's.
Brother Zombie.
Brother Zombie.
Let's have Brother Zombie back. Werewolf by Night. Man-Wolf.
Right. Anyway, so I mean, like in a roundabout way, we did talk about Secret Wars, but
we spent 25 minutes.
I thought
it will be a dog of a comic, and it won't have any effect on anything long term.
No, but we just said that it will have an effect. It will change the whole universe, maybe only for a year, but it will change it.
I think they're liars.
Well,
every event they've had in
we
the last
love
10 years
Marvel.
has been this one. I love Marvel.
I do love Marvel.
But every event has been this will change the Marvel universe forever or until next June, whichever comes first.
Yeah, I mean, so like Marvel is kind of like it, you know, it's kind of like the abusive partner in an abusive relationship. It's like no matter how much they smack you, you're just going to keep coming back to them.
Right.
Well, DC I managed to give up
DC is kind of like it's like a slave master kind of like relationship. But yeah, go on.
So did you have a topic then?
I think that the Secret Wars thing kind of like covered my topic. And plus the topic that I keep thinking about that I want to harp on to, I don't think Jackson's allowed to be here for it. So
go into like recommendations. Like the other topic that I wanted to talk about, which I'm always talking about because we're streaming on DC TV, is kind of like like what's happening.
You can't because we don't know because we can't see it.
He knows.
I don't. I've decided.
Why do you not know?
Because I've decided.
Our audience knows.
No,
they're watching.
No, they don't because they're on the same time as us, and I haven't seen it because I'm a UK person. Some of us are trying to.
Some people are in the US that are watching the show.
There are. Not at the moment. There may be ultimately, but it's very
no.
simple.
But I am looking forward after watching that Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode and coming to the end of that, I was mortified that Trip. I really liked Trip.
Yeah, Trip.
And I'm looking forward to seeing.
Trip.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And to be honest, is it just me or when Sky got powers, did she turn even sexier?
Because it was so slow. That rise of power was so slow. But no, what I was gonna say was,
understanding football.
what I was gonna say was, despite the fact that you're not watching, Flash is awesome, isn't it, Jackson?
Yeah.
And like what we see last week was the return of the Flash, right?
Yeah.
And who shows up in the return of Flash?
Golden Ladder.
No, that was the end of the episode. See, now that was super.
So,
That was a super spoiler.
Pied Piper's in it, isn't he?
No, he's coming this week.
Coming this
Well,
week.
they're bringing him in the same way that they've done in the New 52 comics, isn't it? The Pied Piper's going to be the police lieutenant.
Yeah, but yeah. Now, what's strange is in the trailer, right? Is that like, well, in that episode, the new episode that started, the Rhodes show up, of course, and it was awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
actually Wentworth Miller?
And Dominic Purcell.
I love that. I love that.
And they were, and their relationship was so awesome, man. And then they go up against the Flash, Heatwave and Captain Cold, and everything.
It was like the whole Pac-Man thing.
Yeah, but what? No, not Pac-Man. You mean the Ghostbusters?
Oh yeah, I know.
Ghostbusters.
Did they cross the screen, Jackson?
Across the trees. Yeah, exactly. And then like what happened was that so of course Wentworth, Captain Cold, they get caught, so they don't get killed, and they go into prison.
I love the fact.
I love the fact that I don't need to watch this when it comes on English TV now.
Yeah, well, you do
That's
because
why
you
I
need to
saw
watch
that
it.
started
You
reading
do
this
because you
stuff.
need to watch it because it's awesome.
This
Flash
is
catches
I will
Flash
when they
catches
broadcast it
Flash
in
catches
England.
the missile. You need to watch it.
this is why I'm really glad I have a really bad memory, because sometimes I don't.
I will.
Yeah, because Brooks here doesn't care about spoilers like him. But
But I mean, I am looking forward to seeing the Flash. That's been gone for too long. It should have been almost instantly they kind of come into it. And I've been reading that this time traveling arc that they're going to be bringing in is going to be major importance throughout all.
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Well, no, it's Grant Gustin. I was reading an interview with him, and he's like, the way that they're going to do the time traveling thing.
What did he say?
Yeah. No, he did. You know what they're like. They never say anything. The way he makes it out though is so like it's not just this season. It is like an overall. It's something that's always going to be happening at least.
Yeah.
So I am really looking forward. And I've said it before. I love the way that they're bringing the Flash. So like the way that they're doing the Flash, and they're doing it so earnestly and so well.
Yeah.
And,
I mean because what I was trying to say about Pied Piper was just the fact that so in that they just only mentioned the name because his parents or he's rich and stuff, just like the captain mentioned his boyfriend. So it's like if you're not a fan of the comic, you don't know anything, you just watch it. So then it all will come to a head where it's like that's him. And then he also turns out to be an enemy of Wells and all of that other kind of thing.
I just thought it was fantastic that they had an openly gay character, and it wasn't an issue, it wasn't a plot point. The captain was just a gay man.
And they didn't do anything like giving the Pied Piper like a pig hobo or anything like that. Just to
No.
get
I mean, and he said that line because it's in a promo as well too. It's not even.
that one just is
I'm trying to skip over it. It's in the promo as well, where it's like he said, oh yeah, something about red leather or something like that. He says and everything. But I mean, it's just really amazing that. And then also Arrow came back on. You don't watch Arrow with me or anything like that, but Arrow's back. And I will say, there was only my one disappointment, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do it, is that we didn't see the Lazarus Pit and stuff.
Well, he's gone on to the record saying it's not a Lazarus Pit.
Yeah, well, that's the problem with the internet. It's like, because, and we do it ourselves, right? We do all of this speculation.
Spoilers when you haven't seen the program.
Yeah, we keep doing these speculations. Well, that's the whole point. Is that we're so excited that we're speculating all the time, aren't we? About who's going to come and how it's going to happen. And so everybody was so darn sure, because it was Raza Pool, that he was going to be brought back by the Lazarus that it was going to be brought back by the Lazarus Pit. Now, we still don't know that that's not how he's brought back. But it was just the point was Team Arrow was amazing. On their own, they were fighting a good fight and stuff.
Is it just me then that doesn't speculate, just lets just waits to see what happens.
No, I love speculating.
I love speculating.
But
And you know, on this show, we're always talking about what could possibly happen as well. I mean, how are they going to do this? How are they going to do that?
I sort of like on a regular basis with other mates of mine who read comic books do all this kind of like thing, like with the Batman and Superman thing. In my head, I know how that should play out and how I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I love talking to them. At least on this way, we have a record of it, so people can go, "You were completely wrong about that." They win.
Or you were completely right, because that's what I'm saying. You're completely right. I don't know how. Because when Jackson predicted that Captain Boomerang will show up, I said, Jackson, he's a stupid character. You know, because from my recollection of Captain Boomerang, there's the white scarf and the sailor hat and all that kind of stuff.
My whole thing about him is identity crisis, where he's just.
Well, or that version. And then I was like, okay, Jackson, maybe his son will show up, but I don't get your hopes up. And then he shows up. Yeah, he has a son in the comics, in the identity crisis he had. But then he shows up. So that's why we're like, yeah, speculation is good.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm kind of like, I wonder how they're going to bring Green Arrow back. I mean, they can't obviously do it the same way.
Well, they have. I won't tell you though.
Oh, right, but they haven't explained how he's being brought back. So it's not going to be kind of like the Kevin Smith Quiver kind of like story where,
You tell me
well, what is it? The Green Lantern or the Hal Jordan at the time, he found like a tiny speck of Green Arrow's DNA on Superman's suit, and so it was very
that is horrible.
trying to pick the
I thought when you said quiver, I thought you were going to say it was something to do with the longbow hunters, because when that whole series came out, there was something around.
No, this is the Kevin Smith Quiver where after Green Arrow had blown up on the plane.
Oh yeah, when his hand got stuck in it.
Yeah. And so like there was a piece of him left on Superman where the Spectre kind of like took it off and then grew like a soulless.
That is horrible. That's horrible.
Yeah, he created a soulless husk.
But still better than the new 52.
Yeah, it is still better than the new 52.
Well,
gripping.
the domestic
gripping.
But yeah. So,
all right. So anyway, I mean, what I was just gonna say is that so in the end of the show, we would like to try a new topic of the show on recommendations. So like recommendations of not like what you can get, because anybody can go out and get their own books. Some people aren't even buying books. But what I like about this show is because I'm on a site called History of Comics, the 1980s. And I mean, I'm totally enjoying this site on Facebook, where we're just having like covers of old books, and it just takes me back and everything. And I thought that would really be a nice touch for Essential, is to make an Essential recommend of like something from your favorite, just like you got Understanding the Comics right there by yourself, So are you recommending that, or?
I will recommend this. First off, I will recommend, since comics are an art form and pop art derives from comics, I will recommend that we've got about 10 days left of it. The Andy Warhol exhibition at the Tate, which is absolutely magnificent. It's the best art exhibition I've ever seen in my life. Best curated exhibition. It's got everything you ever want by Warhol, plus stuff you didn't know existed. And obviously, he wouldn't necessarily.
So beyond what we all know about the Campbell paintings, beyond that, you're talking about.
The Campbell tin cans are there anyway, but he's also got the boxes, the Ghost Elvises, the Dissipating Marilyn, but also a lot of earlier stuff, and there's an entire room devoted to the exploding plastic inevitable and a recreation of it, and a lot of cinema stuff. Wow. Absolutely brilliant. Playing Velvet Underground bootlegs all over the place. If you're in Liverpool, go to the Tate. Go to see Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol.
I'm going to sound completely uncultured and everything, but before I do, I'd like to say that.
Don't say what the Tate is.
No, I have seen Phantom of the Opera. I have experienced cultural stuff before, but I couldn't give two flying figs about Andy Warhol.
Phantom of the Opera is not culture.
You are right, it's not.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
You don't even know who Andy Warhol is.
It's just kind of, it's for me, it is symptom, it's just artwork for this. It's not artwork as far as I'm concerned. I just don't get it. It is kind of like reading, sort of like an awesome.
Why do you recommend that?
I'm going to recommend a book that came out in, let's see the date here, there must be a date on it somewhere. 1993, this is the second printing from 1993. I just happened to pick it up off the bookcase earlier on. It's Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art by Scott McCloud. Scott McCloud had just come off a long run on a comic called Zot, which I picked up was excellent. I would buy the whole trade, the trade's always like £80. But his next project was to explain to the entire world how comics worked as a comic, and it talks about panel transition, and
Was that a Dragon Ball Z thing?
it will be, there's some reference in there. But you don't realise, because I found this with my piece that was published that we had on last week, I gave it to a couple of relatives at the time, and they didn't know how to read comics.
Yeah, so they didn't know, yeah.
Genuinely didn't understand it. You go from panel to panel,
Yeah.
read this panel, move on to the next,
Yeah.
because they'd never read comics. This explains exactly how comics work, and explains things that we take for granted, like the transition of time from one panel to another, and what panel the lead actually does, and how you take the fact that each one should be a still from a film, but you will sometimes get overly. It's in terms of how to read comics, in terms of how to make comics, it's the Bible.
So, you never said the title, so what is it?
Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art by Scott McCloud.
Scott McCloud, yeah, that's what I thought.
So what are you going to recommend?
So no. No, my essential recommend will be my shot that Ian's never read it, and then my later shot that you've never read it. So my essential recommend will be the Contest of Champions. It's 2 issues, and it's like, as I said, you know, it's around like 82 that it came out, and it was like the first limited series that involved everybody. You know, I mean, we're so used to it. We had this whole long conversation about Secret Wars, the original and the new ones coming up. And like, Contest of Champions wasn't just everybody though. It wasn't like just the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Avengers and everything. It was characters that they actually invented really for the book to be from all over different countries. So like the Peregrine, Sabra.
Were they properly the sort of like stereotypical thing? So it's sort of like the French one.
You know what? It's the 80s, mate. So I mean, on the one hand, I wouldn't say they were purely stereotypical, but they did talk stereotypically. Like
the British hero had a cup of tea with him all the
Yes.
time.
yeah, well, Captain Britain was there in it, but I mean, you know, the Le Peregrine was French, and they would go "Sacre bleu,"
Of
you
course
know.
he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what all French people talk like.
Exactly. He talked like Inspector Clouseau. But my point was
Does he
that.
have a license for this minky?
But my
with these what's it?
Yeah, my point was that it's just like an awesome series, and I got it on a comic reader and everything else like that. And it's like you were talking about.
Is that a legal thing?
Comic readers are legal.
Yeah.
It's legal. It's not
They're
another.
legal.
Yeah, it's not another one of your streaming things we should
No,
have in this country.
No,
yet,
it's not. It's not a streamer. It's not streaming at all. It's legal.
It's a real
You
thing.
just said like Marvel's Unlimited. You can get your.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Just like that.
this book came out in 1982. But the funny thing about it is that I was saying to Ian. So last week I was trying to show Ian the images because he first of all Colcock didn't believe me.
Yeah,
And then what he didn't believe was where the story came from. I said it came from because you remember Marvel Treasury editions,
Yeah.
the big books, the big panel books, and so they had Superman versus Spider-Man and Batman versus the Hulk and all that. But so this one was Spider-Man versus the Hulk, but at the Winter Olympics, and that's when he had a hissy fit thing. Yeah.
That's like why
You say you're having me on now. And everything that there actually is a book, Spider-Man vs. Hulk at the Winter Olympics.
You know,
if there's one thing in history more useless than the Winter Olympics, it's Spider-Man and the Hulk at the Winter Olympics.
it doesn't really kind of like, it's not. I just don't get it. Where were the Winter Olympics held? Was Peter Parker on assignment there or something?
Yeah, he was on assignment as a soccer on
the
here.
Hulk he really took up snowboarding.
Yeah, but what it was like because it was like in another country. It was what was it? The 1980 Olympics, and what it was supposed to be like, you know what? We're all watching this because you got to remember in the 80s TV. I mean, it was everybody had TV.
Trust me, in the 80s there was nobody in England watching the Winter Olympics.
In America, we were all watching the Winter Olympics, and like the whole thing about it is that there was the heroes, like from other countries. And so the comic writer just said, you know what, we're going to do this in the comic book form. And so we're going to invent, like the Spanish hero or the Arabian hero, like the Arabian Night came out of that. And,
disappeared again immediately.
That's not too on the nose, is it?
But okay, to end it, the Collective Man came out of that from China. And what was really cool, I actually thought
Hold on. The Collective Man.
Yeah, he called
because he worked on the Collective. Because
No.
he's a communist.
No, he's Chinese.
Because Mao had collectors and you worked on collectors.
Okay,
in
okay.
Russia.
Well, somebody was being creative, but no, he was like a multiplier, like
Like Jamie Mathis.
multiplex, you know, like he could multiply himself. Anyway, so that was his power. But I thought he was really cool, and he had like 5 stars, you know, like on the chest and everything for the flag and stuff. But so what they would do is if you watch closely, you know, like when you see the collective man, like one will have 5 stars, one will have 2, one will have 3, that kind of thing. So that way they try and visually distinguish them. My point is that now they brought back the collective man, and it's this is not my Avengers. They brought back the collective man as Shang-Chi from Master of Kung Fu, from Master Kung Fu, who's now an Avenger. And then he's no longer seemingly a master of Kung Fu. I mean, he is, but they thought maybe we should do something. So part of this whole Illuminati Avenger storyline, they gave him the power to replicate himself.
Oh no!
And so now he is the new collective man. And so when Cap's team goes versus the Illuminati team, they send in Shang-Chi, who multiplies himself,
So
and he's
can-
now like 50 masters. He's like 50 masters of Kung Fu.
The Doug Monk, Paul Gulacy run on Master Kung Fu is one of the greatest achievements in the history of comics, and that is killing it.
So can I just sort of like
The Shoe Lord.
so just to sum up that 5-minute thing that you just done, your recommendation is the
Contest of Champions.
Contest of Champions.
Thanks.
Alright, so I just wanted to make sure of that. Otherwise, I thought it went into what's in your bag again. And it was just
No, it didn't. It didn't. No. I was recommending Contest of Champions 1, and I was talking about the history of the book, and the other is I was talking about how that book comes into the present day.
Right, okay, so
There we go.
Yeah,
So
Nice loop, I like that.
Thanks.
I'm going to recommend. I've been starting to read my Dragon Ball collection, and I forgot how much fun Dragon Ball was.
The comic book?
The comic book, the original comic book done by Akira Toriyama, absolutely.
Was the comic before the TV series?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, right.
the TV series is completely based on the comic book. You know, it was actually done. So the books were getting released almost, I think it was about a month before the actual animation was being done, which is why Dragon Ball Z has so many episodes where they're just powering up because the comic hadn't been written yet to carry on the story. And so that's why there's so many times, you know.
Wait a minute, so I thought you just said it came out before the TV series.
Yeah, literally months before.
The comic book came out
comic book
before.
came out before the TV
Right.
series. But
Then the TV series overtook and sort of Game of Thrones style.
yeah, kind of thing. So, but what I mean, it's not Dragon Ball Z, it's Dragon Ball, and it's about, it is the whole, it's monkey, the Chinese journey to the West, taken into a martial arts thing, and all the innocuous Japanese innocent stuff like Goku not figuring out that women don't have to, trying to figure out why Bulma doesn't have a tail and starts patting her, so when she's sleeping, starts just patting her on the fanny. Just to kind of see why she's got a tail. Yeah, where's your tail? You got a tail. And it's so like when
Most Japanese
oh
cartoons.
yeah, totally.
Like Legend of the Overfiend.
We look at it as kind of like cheekiness, whereas the Japanese look at it as sort of like semi-porn. But
We look at it as cheekiness?
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, I just think it is really cheeky. The way Akira Toriyama has Goku going naked and all the time, you've got this little penis and this little drawn. It's just fun. It is just fun.
Somebody's taking the explicit to the next level.
It's just fun, innocent, and I love reading.
It's a different cultural.
And there's nothing better than the whole thought of someone pure and innocent.
Who just wants to defend the good, defend people and doesn't like bullies. There's something
That should be the definition of the super.
Yeah, Captain America. It says it better. Why do you want to fight Nazis? I don't like bullies, and that sums up Captain America, and that sums up everything that I love. And that's why I love Superman. That's why I love Spider-Man. That's why I love Captain America.
And that's why I love it.
And that's where the tune comes in. Yeah.